right. Are we live? All right, we're live. Good morning. Good morning, comrades. Hope you're all safe, clean, and healthy this Sunday morning. And big shout out to you if you're able to join us this morning. Important stream. You know, all of these videos are important. Every article, every video created by every anti-dog platform is very important. And let's deal with these pit bulls once again. Okay, because these pit nutters are the worst of all dog nutters. They are the worst. And we need to stay on their necks a little more than average than we do with the other dog nuts. They are the most dangerous, and they're the easiest targets. They make it real. They make my job easy, leaving themselves so vulnerable. All right, so let's get into it. I made a post in the community section. All right, we got a small crowd already. Sibby, Buster, Shar, Yusuf. Big shout out to Yusuf Mambo. He makes these videos, man, with my videos, my vocals over this like music. It's real neat. Y'all check out his channel. We got Kittens, Dave. Let's get into it. I love getting on these pit nutters. Now, I made a post 3 days ago in the community section. And it reads, quote, "If bad owners equals people who don't train bad behaviors out of their dog, isn't that an admission that dogs are indeed bad?" You know, they fall back on this excuse, if you can even call it an excuse, rhetoric, all the time. It's like their go-to line. There are no bad owners. Excuse me. There are no bad dogs. There are no bad dogs. There are only bad owners. What does that mean? Well, you know, owners who don't train their dog to not jump on people, to not bite people. People who fail to train their dogs to not be vicious. Those are said to be bad owners. What does that mean? That means you start out with a vicious, violent, bad dog. All dogs are bad. We got some good responses. T. Abrafo says, without a doubt, dogs need constant, intense training to even be tolerable. And this is even more the case with bully breeds. He continued, he said, and that still doesn't mean that they won't try to kill you for any or no reason. Okay? No matter how much you train a dog, it is never a guarantee that that mutt won't attack you or someone in your family that it has been trained to not attack. Silly Tube says, that's what I thought as well. If only untrained dogs behave bad, then doesn't that mean that dogs by nature are bad? Okay. Said, if only untrained dogs behave in a bad manner, doesn't that mean that dogs are by nature bad? They incriminate themselves with this stupid line. And it's amazing that something like this became popular. You mean nobody among you caught the contradiction here? No, these people, I told you, these dog nuts, they have a lowered IQ. You can lower your own IQ. If you just behave in brainless ways, you'll eventually lose touch with good common sense and intelligence. People say you are what you eat. Well, you are also what you do. That's why it's important not to participate in stupidity. War on Dogs left the response, said, and also, why would there be any attacks from stray dogs in India? Or the stray ones in Canada or Indian reserves? They are not owned and are free to act upon their pure souls with no human interference. And I've shared a lot of stories about stray dogs and how they attack people all the time. How is that so? How are these dogs bad when there is no human around to make them that way? We all know these people and their rhetoric is embarrassing. To even respond to this stupidity makes me feel like I have to step down a peg. Right? Rock HSW left a funny response. Bad owner plus good dog equals 2 bad dogs. Good owner plus bad dog equals 2 bad dogs. Bad owner plus bad dog equals 2 bad dogs. Good owner plus good dog equals 2 divided by 0. And Nikola Tesla chimed in on this post, and he pointed out that these people always incriminate themselves. They'll insist that dogs are naturally the most gentle and loving creatures on earth, and that humans are naturally evil. Then, 1 second later, they will tell you that dogs need constant training by humans to learn how to act against their natural programming. Well, if dogs are so pure and humans are so unpure, then shouldn't dogs be the ones training us? Y'all understand here the point? How are humans, the naturally evil creatures, why are we required to turn these dogs into good dogs? To save these mutts from being a bad dog makes no sense. This is embarrassing. Nikola continues. He said, then we all know how they always say there's no such thing as a bad dog, only a bad owner. Well, if that were the case, then every single stray dog should be nothing short of a walking beacon of angelic perfection, since there are no bad owners to corrupt them. To be a dog lover, you literally have to delude yourself on a daily basis in order to create the illusion that the pieces fit. People, and this is what it is all about. Perfect summary of this dog nut culture. They have to delude themselves on a daily basis, every single day. They have to recite the lies, the nonsense, the rhetoric, read it, write it on social media, so on and so forth. Now, wait a minute. You guys, you couldn't even see my screen. My apologies. But if you go to the comment section, you will see the post. Okay, it's titled if bad owners equals people who don't train bad behaviors out of their dog, isn't that an admission that dogs are indeed bad? Sorry about that. I did not share my screen with my PowerPoint, but that's okay. because I want us to review this video right here, uploaded by the Doo-Doo. And it's titled 7 Myths About Pit Bulls That Are Complete BS. And then they wrote the Doo-Doo Pity Nation. This channel heavily promotes pit bulls, bully breeds. This is the best they have in the dog nut world. This is uploaded 2019. Already has over 1 million views. Let's take a look at this nonsense.
Is he or she friendly? It's like,
I don't understand what's scary about a velvet unicorn.
You always hear they're somehow different, you know, like anatomically.
They come out of
You always hear they're
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. It's early. I'm sorry. Now I want y'all to be careful with these dog nutters, especially these pit nutters. They always try to control the narrative. Whenever they try to debunk so-called myths about pit bulls, they always create the narrative and they try to make a straw man argument. And they want to say that this is your argument. You see here they have number 1, pit bulls are more aggressive than other dogs. They're saying that this is what we say. But I want you to keep this in mind. Of course, they're going to include a bunch more ridiculous narratives, and we will debunk them as they make them.
you always hear they're somehow different, you know, like anatomically.
they come out of the womb like wild lions.
Notice how they're creating the argument for us, for the people who object to pit bulls.
To kill anything they can.
That's not true. They love to snuggle. They love to give you kisses and high fives.
if they're so dangerous, why is he so cool with my chihuahua?
See, this type of brainless stupidity has to go. This is what we are at war with right here, where these people think that just because they own a pit bull, it hasn't attacked anyone, then somehow this behavior of non-aggression applies to all pit bulls all over the world. None of this stupid rhetoric. And why do they always have to play this happy music? It's all propaganda. None of this, nothing that they say erases the facts. It does not remove the facts that incriminate bully breeds. It does not remove the testimonies from the many doctors who've testified. And listen, nobody is more qualified to tell you about the nature of bully breeds than doctors. An individual who owns a pit bull is in no position to inform you or educate the general public about the general behavior and danger of bully breeds. It is only the doctors. Because when people are attacked, they go to the same people, the doctors. Doctors are the one and only experts qualified to talk about the nature of these things. Let's keep that in mind. I really hate when they pull this type of nonsense.
They're not crazy, they're just lazy.
Yeah. Hard.
Who did that?
You know your dog's gonna turn on you. Out of nowhere, his brain is on.
Notice, you see number 2? They're unpredictable. This guy goes on to say that you know your dog is going to turn on you. How do you know that? What makes you qualified to say what all pit bull owners know? This arrogance among these people is a joke. It really is laughable. They make it too easy for you to expose them as imbeciles. You don't know what people know, man. And none of you are qualified to call all of the cases of pit bull attacks liars, the confessions liars, because these people always say that the attack was unprovoked and that the dog showed no signs before the attack. What makes you random idiot pit nutters qualified to say that they are lying? I mean, this level of arrogance and stupidity is infuriating.
Out of nowhere, his brain is going to swell in his head and he's going to turn into khaki. That's what happens with him. No, it's not.
What is Baskin unpredictably do to you?
Again, what qualifies you to say that, dude? Just random pit nuts trying to tell you about all pit bulls. These people they don't even go door to door. They can't even say that they've went home to home to millions of pit bull owners. They have no experience whatsoever. They only have experience with their own personal pit bull. Bunch of lunatics. Okay, where are we? All right.
No, it's not.
What is Baskin unpredictably do to you?
I don't mean mom to she's right.
You never know when he's
Now, did you catch that? She asked this girl, what does this pit bull unpredictably do to you? And they rehearsed and made this child memorize this nonsense. She said, cuddle me and want me to itch his butt. Wait a minute.
Baskin unpredictably do to you.
I don't mean mom to she's right.
Are we supposed to be stupid here? We all know when a child has been rehearsed, coerced, has been taught and trained to memorize dog nut stupidity. And that's all that happened here. And once again, this stupid idea, this stupid logic that my personal relationship with my pit bull applies to all pit bulls and all pit bull owners. And I have not conducted any personal research on any number of pit bulls anywhere that qualifies me to tell you and educate you about the nature of pit bulls. Again, the only people qualified are the doctors. Man, we're just getting started. I'm infuriated already. Does it not take much, especially for pit nutters?
You
never know when he's going to fall off the couch. It's really scary when he does.
His erratic running up and down the stairs.
Okay, right now, these sick people are being sarcastic and making mockery. They're saying, yeah, he's unpredictable. We never know when he's going to be running up and down the stairs. Right? So they're not even being serious at this point. They're just trying to be sarcastic, condescending, and mock, worst of all, victims of pit bull attacks.
Stairs. I just never know how fast he's going to go, how many times he's going to do it.
Say hi to your new parents.
Now, I'm sorry. Some of you knew I was going to go there. Just let me point out, because, you know, this sometimes people only see one video from me and they don't see any more for a long time. So I like to get everything in. I just want to point out, and I've done more research on this. Dogs wag their tail to spread the scent of their excrement. The muscles in their anus is specially designed to release the smell of their excrement. And the tail acts like a fan to spread the scent. These are disgusting, repugnant creatures.
Say hi to your new parents.
I say adopt Ollie. If you want to adopt a puppy, that's great.
And look how dangerous, sinister this video is. They're saying that this is a myth. You see number 3? It says it's only safe to adopt a puppy, a pit bull, when it's a puppy. They're saying it's not safe. It's dangerous. The opponents are saying it's dangerous to adopt an adult, a grown pit bull from a shelter. And these people are actually on here, this channel, the doo-doo, trying to argue against that.
I say adopt Ollie. If you want to adopt a puppy, that's great. Is it safer? No.
We didn't raise any of our dogs. We got them all as adults, and we have never had any kind of problems with them. They're all inherently great.
Dogs are such a combination.
Did y'all hear that? They couldn't even admit that it's safer to have a bully breed or a pit bull that you raised from a puppy. They couldn't even say that. They couldn't even admit that. Their goal is to not say anything against pit bulls and to only pray. It's bad faith through and through. So you know they're unreliable. This is a horrible video. This should be taken down.
We didn't raise any of our dogs. We got them all as adults, and we have never had any kind of problems with them. They're all inherently great.
Again, this stupid brain dead logic that just because we haven't had any issues with our pit bulls yet, that means there are no dangerous pit bulls. Suddenly, all pit bulls around the world are going to magically stop attacking people because of you and your little stupid personal experience with your worthless mutt. That's the logic here, people. Yeah, this is too easy.
They're such a combination of the environment that they live in and the people that are providing them all the important things they need to create a healthy, balanced dog.
Oh my God. Here they are admitting, or they're basically saying that, well, you just need to do a bunch of stuff for them. Dogs are a reflection of the people who raised them, and you need to provide a healthy and balance. Provide them with all the important things they need to be a healthy balance. You don't have to deal with this rhetoric with any other animal. All other animals are just fine without humans having to manipulate them. And those animals leave us alone. They're telling us, oh, dogs, pit bulls, let's be clear here. They're saying that pit bulls are no more dangerous than any other animal on earth.
They need to a healthy, balanced dog.
Now we get into the nitty gritty. They're saying that this is a myth. That pit bulls should not be inside of a home where kids are present. They're saying that that's a myth. Wow. And I cannot believe rhetoric like this has so much support. Again, the youth, they're not going to side with these people. They're going to hear the truth and logic and common sense in our narrative, and they're not going to want to look stupid by regurgitating this type of nonsense.
He keeps me safe like he's my big brother. When I have a bad dream, he just cuddles me.
And in other words, just because this pit bull has not attacked this child yet, that proves that pit bulls are harmless. Right? Their arguments, you don't have to dig deep. It's stupid on its face. And really insulting. It's offensive that they put this out and expect people to swallow it. And believe it or not, many pit bull bans are lifted, are removed based on this type of stupid rhetoric. That's why we're going to own them when we see these people out in public in their stupid demonstrations.
Family dogs by nature.
He said they're family dogs by nature. Prove it. What are you basing that on? Pit bulls were bred to be fighting dogs, to be aggressive. Do you think just because you say that they're family dogs by nature, somehow that's supposed to make it true? You don't have to support what you say with any proof, no evidence whatsoever? Isn't it so culty? And mainly because it's built on so many lies, ridiculous assumptions, so on and so forth. It is unbelievably brainless, cult-like behavior.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's nice.
You see? This moment with this mutt, they're getting off on the danger. They're getting off on the danger. She said, oh, that's nice. Yeah, isn't it so nice? This pit bull could have bit my baby's head off and it didn't. That's the greatest demonstration of love possible on earth. This is what goes through these sick people's minds. They're getting off on the nature involved. It gives them a rush, this little mini rush inside. And their brain starts to release a dopamine. They're literally addicted to seeing their kids and babies' life in danger. That's all this is. Bunch of sick individuals who have tried to project their sickness as something normal and acceptable, something that should be praised and honored.
Pit bulls are not born to fight. They are one of the most loyal and trainable dogs. And
What? They're not born to fight. They were bred to fight. They literally have traits to fight, to attack without warning, right? Giving no warning signs. And when they attack, to bite down, not let go, and shake to cause maximum damage. And only bully breeds do this for the most part. You can't get them off of the victim. So she's trying to refute all of these cases where it's evidence, it's proof that these are fighting dogs. This is a fighting breed. And we're just supposed to believe you because you say it? These people are out of their minds. We're dealing with absolute lunatics. And yes, I get off on exposing these people. Right? Sign the petition. I'll leave a link to the petition in the description box. Matter of fact, I will post it before this live stream is over.
I feel like that street goes both ways.
You have to push and push and push to make them that way.
They're forced into that.
See, they're saying that pit bulls have to be forced to attack. You have to force them to attack. And if you don't train them to attack, they'll never attack. You can't say that about any dog, least of all pit bulls. Again, these people are absolute lunatics, and they are willing to spew a bunch of false rhetoric right in the face of examples that refutes their rhetoric.
Situation. Inherently, that dog does not want to fight. They just want to lay on a couch and fart.
They just want to be loved. They want to play. They want snacks. They want to chase squirrels.
If these worthless mutants were so harmless, like they're trying to say that they are, then why are you explaining so much? Why around every corner you pit nuts are always trying to convince the general public they're okay, they're nice, they're good dogs? And it's only you lunatics that do this. You don't see other people trying to convince the general public that rabbits are harmless? People would look at you like you were out of your mind. Like, what are you talking about? Of course gerbils are harmless. Of course squirrels are harmless. Get out of here. What are you talking? Man, these people incriminate themselves with every attempt that they make. All right, welcome. Big shout out everybody in the building. Let's get this done. But let's take our time, because these are some absolute lunatics. These are the greatest menace to society.
Pet you now, okay? Good girl.
Hi, Nana.
Dogs that have been treated badly, you can't turn them around.
Okay.
Y'all see that? Number 6. They're saying it's a myth, that is complete BS, that they can't be taught how to love. They can't be taught how to love. Now keep in mind, they're talking about dogs that were actually fighting dogs as well.
Good girl.
Hi, Nana.
Dogs that have been treated badly, you can't turn them around. They're like that forever.
What a beautiful girl you are.
That's absolute bullshit. Todd was born into a dogfighting operation.
Y'all see that? Oh, hideous mutant. Let me do this. They are up here trying to argue the case that you can rehabilitate dogs that were actually fighting dogs. They were actually used in dog fighting. They're saying that they could be rehabilitated. That's exactly what that rescue was trying to do with that pit bull who recently killed that lady this week. They got all the signs that this was an aggressive dog, aggressive bully breed. It was acting aggressive. And they say, no, it just needs more love. People are lunatics, man. And you see how they're pushing these things as family members telling you that you need to allow these things in your home around your kids and babies and treat them like kids and babies.
All he knew was that life, and he's doing this.
It just takes patience. These dogs, when you get them, people think.
Y'all see that? Y'all hear what she said? She said all this dog knew was the fighting life. And now he's doing this. It's sitting there, not attacking anyone. That's supposed to be proof that fighting dogs can be rehabilitated. This is unbelievable, man. This is unreal. This level of stupidity is unreal. You know a good argument when you hear it. Most of us, when we hear a good argument, before we even try to refute it, we'll say, that's a good point. That's a good argument. You make a good argument. Can you imagine yourself saying that about this type of lunacy? Wow. They no logic whatsoever. It takes patience. You just got to be patient. Again, explaining. Because they know that these are vicious killing machines.
People think that they just can't be changed, which is not true. People change. Dogs can change. It doesn't matter how much love and attention you give them.
So they're arguing that you can take dogs that have been bred to fight, that have actually fought in dog fighting, and turn them into harmless animals by simply rubbing on them and giving them food. They even wrote, look who jumped in bed with me. People, arguments like this, you really don't even have to waste your time trying to refute stupidity like this. Because this is offensive. When people say dumb things that are so dumb, at a certain point, it's offensive. Like, how dare you expect me to believe that? How dare you try to lay that type of stupidity on me? And you see how this guy was sitting there perfectly still. Why? Because sudden movements could trigger an attack. So while he's trying to convince us that pit bulls are harmless, he's up there being a tree. Ooh, let me stand still. Ooh, let me allow it to sniff me so I don't get attacked. Look, it's harmless. It can be rehabilitated. What a joke. These people are sad, man. Embarrassing. Wait a minute. Did y'all see that?
People change. Dogs can change. Doesn't matter how much love and attention you give them. Look who jumped in bed with me. Daddy's boy now.
And I love her so much 'cause
now.
And I love her so much 'cause she's furry.
Pit bulls are way better than any dog on the planet.
What are you doing?
There's nothing better than a pit bull.
They're so fun. They're so cute. They're the cutest.
They're smart.
Now, people, this is so offensive. This is so offensive. These people are completely ignoring the fact that pit bulls cause some 80% of all severe injuries. We'll go over the information. On top of that, they're saying all this. They're praising these creatures that are the only creatures on this planet that maul, mutilate, and kill human babies and kids. Under no circumstances do you defend a creature like that. Under no circumstances. There is not enough happy music that you can play in the background while talking about these worthless mutants that's going to remove that fact or change that fact. Like I said, like I always say, these people are dangerously stupid, dangerously idiotic and suicidal. And they deserve our full attention. Okay, we are here. This is the opposite of pit nutters. Just as much as you are in favor of pit bulls and support pit bulls, no, we are against you and your lifestyle and these worthless mutts even more so.
They're funnier.
Very sweet.
So dramatic. They're big babies.
People who have pit bull type dogs will tell you their hearts are as big as their heads.
See? See? When you research babies that is a baby that have been attacked, it's almost always a dog. Again, under no circumstances do these things deserve to be defended in any way whatsoever. The only proper way to deal with these things is to exterminate them. And until all world governments do that, it's going to be a stain on their entire society and culture.
They're people dogs. Get a pit bull and say goodbye to your persons. See?
And listen and understand that all of these lunatics, all of them, if they were to see a loose pit bull that they don't know running around the neighborhood, even they would be on high alert. Even they would be on high alert. They still know. Ugh, it's disgusting. Oh my goodness. How unnatural looking of a creature don't deserve to be called an animal. What an unnatural appearance. Very unsightly. I mean, if you can't even enjoy the way an animal looks, what do you have it? Why do you have it as a pet? It doesn't even look like an animal. This is disrespectful towards natural animals. Shouldn't even call these things animals.
Beautiful fella.
I always want to have people at my house.
Look at how dangerous this is. Look at how they have these kids doing the same things that even veterinarians, dog behaviorists, some of them have come out and advised you against. She jumped on this pit bull. Don't they say that you shouldn't bother dogs when they're sleeping or resting? Here they have a pit bull sleep and showed a kid jumping on it. Yet they want to remove my videos. You know, it's unbelievable that stuff like this is still up.
We're just really, really, really good at
This child is hugging this pit bull. Another thing they tell you to not do.
being your best friend.
Oh, how pathetic is that? Is this all? This is their arguments, people. Man, oh man. Shout out to dogsbite.org. I'm going to use some of their information briefly. Top of their website, under the section of dog bite statistics, you will see that in the 16-year period, 2005 to 2020, dogs killed 568 Americans, pit bulls contributed to 67% of these deaths. Combined, pit bulls and Rottweilers contributed to 76% of the total recorded deaths. And keep in mind, people, Rottweilers are bully breeds. And it's very likely that statistics like this primarily only dealing with actual pit bulls. If you talk about all bully breeds, people, it is off the charts. I shared this before. Okay. Pit bulls is at 72%. I don't know if y'all can see that here. But let's keep in mind that this unreleased, that means it was a bully breed. This is those articles we read where the breed of the dog was not determined or not made public. And we all know when they do that, it means it was a bully breed. So it's higher than 72%. We're talking about bully breeds. And this is fatalities. So add that 13% to this 72%. American Bulldog, what is that? Bully breed. Isn't this another bully breed? The Mastiff. These are bully breeds. This one that says mixed breed, what is that? Bully breed. Add all of those to the 72%. No amount of happy music or videos showing a mutt pit bull licking your face is going to change these facts. This is why these people are so afraid of us, because we use facts, logic, and common sense. That's all you need to deal with cultists, to people who are out of their minds. Probability of a dog bite resulting in a complex wound was 4.4 times higher for pit bulls compared with the other top biting breeds. Let's move past that. Most of us have taken the time to read this information on dogsbite.org. But if you haven't, I'm going to share a link to this particular page on the website in the chat room now. Let me share something else with you all. These people, you really have to go slow with these lunatics. And many people who are sort of in the middle of the road. Because for whatever reason, a lot of people get sucked into this rhetoric. Now, like I said, when there is a dog attack, these victims go to the same people. Those people are doctors, surgeons. So let's be clear. Nobody is more qualified to talk about whether or not pit bulls are more dangerous. Nobody's more qualified than the doctors themselves, the people responsible for treating the victims. They can explain to you the type of wound, how bad it is. You're not going to listen to no random pit nuts out here. And we have numerous doctors behind us. And like I said in the community section, I look forward in the future to having phone calls. People call in, and I want to try to get some of these doctors onto the podcast. Because these dog nuts, these pit nutters, they don't have any strong professionals to support their narrative. They only have each other. Other insane lunatics. We remember Dr. Galenko says, our data confirm what detractors of the breed and child advocates suggest, that with rare exceptions, children and pit bulls do not mix. They have confirmed that. This is coming from a doctor. Why should I believe a random dog nut who is basing their testimony on their relationship and experience with their own dog? Why should I listen to these people over doctors? Dr. Benjamin Van Raalte, MD, said, I'm just saying it's time to stop breeding pit bulls. This is a shame. People, we should have been using the testimonies like this, using the testimonies from doctors to put pressures on these politicians and lawmakers to put in place breed specific legislation. The fact that it's being removed all over the country shows how negligent we have been. It shows an absence of people like us. So we need to multiply as fast as possible. Here you got a doctor said, y'all need to stop breeding these things. Stop breeding them. In other words, they need to be exterminated. That's why I don't back down from my belief that these things should be exterminated. Because you find it in even the testimony from doctors. Say, you need to stop breeding them. He says, yeah, now, keep in mind, some of these doctors will sort of try to pander to the dog lovers a little bit. And it's all because of the power that these people have. They don't want to totally ruin their reputation by going all out. So they'll say things like this as well. He said, yes, there are lots of lovable pit bulls. I'm not advocating putting down pit bulls. They're primarily bred for fighting. 2016, we need to say we're done with breeding pit bulls. Its primary purpose is to be a weapon. It's doing what it's supposed to do. And that is what pit bulls were bred for. And that's what they're used for, to be weapons. We looked at the article that talked about criminals who couldn't own a gun, instead using dogs to rob people, pit bulls to rob people, because they are weapons. Dr. William Vineyard, plastic surgeon, repaired numerous children attacked by dogs. He says over 90% were pit bulls that attacked the children that he treated. No amount of stupid doo-doo pit nutter videos with happy music in the background will change this. This is what we're talking about, dog nuts. Every plastic surgeon that I know, he says, has the same experience. Now, this is a very, very strong point. He said, every plastic surgeon that I know has the same experience. Keep in mind what I said. When people are attacked, they go to the same people, doctors. And here, this doctor saying that he's been in connection with other doctors who treat the victims, and they have the exact same experience. So this is not something unique to this doctor's experience. And right now on this stream, we're looking at numerous doctors who have spoken out against the existence of pit bulls in this society. It's very responsible that these things are pandered to by the general public the way that they are. Even made cartoons. That recent cartoon that came out is about a pit bull, a stray pit bull mutt. He said, this doesn't mean that they're horrible animals. It just means they are less predictable and more dangerous for children. There's absolutely no denying this fact. Dr. Chef Barufi said pit bulls account for the overwhelming majority of serious bites. Now, let's go back to these narratives that these pit nutters throw out there. they will avoid talking about the seriousness of the injuries. Y'all ever notice that? They'll say that, oh, pit bulls are not any more likely to bite than any other dog. They avoid dealing with the seriousness of the injuries like the plague, as if it doesn't matter. They want to project the idea that a dog bite is a dog bite. They'll refer to a mauling as a dog bite. No, these are not dog bite victims. These are torture victims. He says there is no reason to own an animal. Is my volume working? Yeah. No reason to own an animal that can kill you if you are not the dog whisperer. Kill you if you're not some trained expert, and even they can get killed. There is no reason to own an animal that can kill you at all, this doctor says. This doctor right now is just sharing common sense. Common sense. Again, these dog nuts, these pit nutters avoid common sense, logic, facts. He says the ban is a wonderful idea. It hurts no one, and it saves kids' lives. Coming from the doctors. So why should we listen to some random pit nutters? They have no clout, no credentials whatsoever. Yet, you have large platforms giving these lunatics a voice to spew this brain-dead rhetoric. At every turn, Dr. David Billmeyer says, quote, how many mauled children do we have to see before we realize the folly of allowing these dogs to exist? That sounds like something y'all hear me say, isn't it? A lot of people like to talk about me like I'm some hateful lunatic who makes statements that are overboard. This sounds like something you'd hear me say. Again, he says, how many mauled children do we have to see before we realize the folly of allowing these dogs to even exist? I said, and I will continue to say, these things have no right to even exist on this planet. They should be exterminated by all world governments. This belief and narrative is supported by multiple doctors. Nobody can tell us that we don't have a case. And that, again, that's why these dog behaviorists and experts, they refuse to respond to my challenges. Even if I put what they wrote on blast in a video, they still don't try to defend themselves because they know it's rhetoric. Dr. Eugene Riley says, as a trauma surgeon, I can attest to the fact that a large majority of the dog attack victims I see are caused by pit bulls. Now let's stop there. Because you hear what this doctor just said? He didn't say the majority of severe dog attack victims, did he? He said the majority of dog attack victims, period. That debunks this idea, this narrative that pit bulls don't attack any more often than any other dogs. That's a lie. They attack. They are more aggressive. Deal with it, pit nutters. They are more aggressive than other dogs on average. If we don't do anything else, bully breeds need to be banned. You have too many experts, professionals out here giving us information based on actual research. These people are putting the victims back together. And what they say, what these doctors say, should determine what the laws are. No exception. There's no exception. Majority dog attack victims I see are caused by pit bulls. This is at least partly because they create a lot more damage than a typical dog attack. Between the disproportionate number of attacks and the disproportionate severity of the injuries, I'd say the prejudice against pit bulls is well founded. That's for all you pit nutters out there who try to argue that it's unfair, they're singled out, it's racism. Do not allow them to get away with that rhetoric, people. Let us be well equipped with the facts and the common sense to debunk these lunatics on the spot, the drop of a dime. Dr. Mark Wolkin. Of the kids that were most severely injured, those that were in the hospital for more than 8 days or had life-threatening injuries, 100% of those victims were attacked by pit bulls. 100%. Let's highlight that. That's the victims who were hospitalized for more than 8 days. They are all pit bull attack victims. Notice how in these little stupid videos where they want to refute pit bull myths or whatever, they totally avoid dealing with the severity of the injuries, like I said. Dr. Stephen Kahn says, I think this is a public health hazard. This particular dog, man, oh man, powerful stuff, coming from the doctors themselves, man. Think this is a public health hazard. These bully breeds. We just have to have them contained in a way that protects the general public. I don't want to see another kid come in dead. So here's a doctor sort of giving a confession, crying out for help, pleading with the lawmakers, basically admitting that, hey, this is traumatizing, not only for me, but for the nurses who helped me. We got dead kids coming in all shredded to death. Unbelievable. And like I said, he regurgitated the same thing I say all the time. This is a public health hazard. Dr. I didn't include this doctor's name. My apologies. I'm going to include a list that I got this from. I shared it before. I'll share it again in the description box. I think it's already there. Yeah, it's there now. It's in the description box now. This gentleman said there are going to be outspoken opponents of breed legislation who say, my pit bulls lie with my baby and play with my rabbit. So this doctor is talking about, wait a minute, Stephen Kahn, this doctor is talking about the people in that video that we just watched. That's basically who he's talking about. My pit bulls lie with my baby and play with my rabbit. And that's fine. I just think we're seeing something here. And I think it does warrant a discussion as to whether this is a risk that a community wants to take. This sounds like what you hear from my channel. This should not be a risk that any community takes. You have no pride, no dignity, no decency if you're willing to bring these things into society. And really, people, we need to put pressure on any and everybody who bring these things in our communities. Now, mortality, mauling, and maiming by vicious dogs. April 2011, Annals of Surgery. I think this is a publication or something like that. Says attacks by pit bulls are associated with higher morbidity rates and higher hospital charges and higher risk of death than are attacks by other breeds of dogs. Strict regulation of pit bulls may substantially reduce the U.S. mortality rates related to dog bites. This is where you need to go. The experts, the people out here involved, actively involved in this nuttery, who hold the most important responsibilities. That is treating the victims. Dr. David E. Blocker. Now, this is very important right here, because we heard a lot of dog nuts who want to say that pit bulls don't attack more often than other dogs, actually bite more often than pit bulls. Look at this. Bite rates by breed. Page 23. 1 out of every 40 pit bulls, 2.5%. Compare that to 1 out of 75 chows, 1 out of 100 Rottweilers, 1 out of 250 German Shepherds. What are we talking about? Less than 1 in 500 Labrador Retrievers. So this doctor is saying that yes, pit bulls do attack more often on average than other dogs. So once again, these people, again, notice how these pit nutters and these pro-dog people, they always refer to some private study that was conducted by them, and they want to give you the results of that study, and it's always in their favor, always in favor of pit bulls. Can't trust people like that. Again, these are lunatics. Man, what a list. We have a whole army of doctors over here on our side. What do you have, dog nuts? What do you have, pit nutters? Show me an army of professionals who are basing their promotion of pit bulls on actual information. Where are they at? This is sad. This is scary stuff, man. This is scary stuff. To see lawmakers ignoring professionals like doctors. Doctors have always been some of the most important people of any society of any era. You listen to them first. And the way our laws are structured, we're basically ignoring the most important people in society. Right? Shout out to all these doctors. Shout out to all these doctors. Right? Y'all have any problems? Go see these doctors. Dr. Antvey sees at least 5 dog bite victims a month in his emergency room. Unfortunately, he said, the biggest offender is the pit bull. Huh? Huh? What do the dog nuts have? They have short snippets and videos of a mutt not attacking somebody with happy music in the background. Dr. Melissa Arca. A child is most likely to be bitten by the family dog or a dog they know. When you're talking about bite severity resulting in life-threatening and even fatal injuries, pit bulls and Rottweilers are the main culprits. Experience absolutely colors our perception. Now, that's a big, strong statement right there. She's talking about doctors in general, surgeons in general. Yes, experience colors our perception. We have to deal with these. We see what most people don't see. I share some of the images of the dog attack victims, kids victims, right after they were mutilated on the operation table. Right? Those photos are available online. People seeing this stuff over and over, being traumatized. Of course, it's going to color your perception. She says, in this case, I can't help but be affected by what I've seen. I will never forget a young child I treated in the ER during my career. People, that's exactly what I said not long ago on a live stream. And I didn't even physically see them in person. I'm just talking about the victims I've seen online, on Google. Yeah, my perception is colored by that. Why isn't yours? Dog nut, pit nuts? You pit nutters? Google child or baby attacked by pit bull and click images. Why isn't your perception motivated by that? What you actually, the actual victims. Dr. Bruce Horswell. Most dog bites occurred in or near the home by an animal known to the child family. Most injuries were soft tissue related. However, more severe bites and injuries were observed in attacks from the pit bull and the Rottweiler breeds. More severe bites and injuries were from pit bulls and Rottweilers. And, you know, it's crazy how they make videos like that. And they look up, they actually have to create an argument for you, for the opponents of pit bulls. They can't do like we're doing and actually, you know, show a video of them putting our narrative out there. They won't do that. They're not going to play this live stream and try to refute or debunk it point by point. No, they have to make up a narrative in their own little stupid mind and claim that you said it. Okay, he continues. Younger children under 5 years old sustained more of the injuries requiring medical treatment. People, this should not be accepted. This is not acceptable. It's not acceptable. We cannot accept 4-year-olds, 3-year-olds, 2-year-olds, infants being attacked. Under no circumstances. I don't want to hear nothing about no happy story. No story about your mutt laying in the bed with you and you having happy moments with your worthless mutt. Dr. Robert Newman says, as a pediatrician, I was disturbed to read Vicky Hearn's assertion that there are no bad breeds, just bad dogs. Now, this doctor is about to tackle this stupid narrative that we've talked about many times. He said there is ample evidence to suggest that certain breeds of dogs are more dangerous to children and others. From 1979 to 94, there were 177 dog bite related fatalities in the U.S. Of these fatalities, 66% were caused by 5 breeds: Pit Bull, Rottweiler, German Shepherds, Husky, and Malamute. If you include crosses among these 5 breeds, that number rises to 82%. So shout out to him for including other breeds as well. Of course, because, you know, my stance is that all these mutants need to be eradicated. All of them. They are not natural animals. Right? Y'all need to stop with that. Dr. Edgar Jaganic. Right? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Jaganic says, pit bull attacks are typically the most severe. And in about 1/3 of all attacks, the animals are family pets or belong to close friends. These dogs should not be around children. Adults are just as likely to be victims. Everyone should be extremely cautious. What did he say? These dogs should not be around children. So why should I, you, or anybody else listen to some random dog nut on a doo-doo video forcing their kids to be around a pit bull? And I'm telling y'all, they are basing the removal of these bans on those stupid videos like what you see in the doo-doo. They're not basing it, they're not even referring to doctors, actual professionals out here. This is unbelievable stuff. This is the Matrix, the Twilight Zone we're talking about. Dr. Michael Feely. Man, how many doctors do we have? I told you we got an army of them. Says when a pit bull is involved, the bites are worse. And you see this over and over. These pit bull advocates, they never ever want to deal with the severity of the injuries. Very deceptive, liars. When pit bulls bite, they bite and lock. And they don't let go. They bite, lock, they rip, and they don't let go. Now you heard him say that they lock. These pit nutters are so pathetic that they've tried to refute that narrative by saying, well, they don't actually lock. That's a pit bull myth. They're not locked. When we all know that this doctor and nobody else is saying that the jaws actually lock where you need a key to open them. We're just saying that they clamp down and they stay clamped down as if the jaws were locked down. Because again, that's their way of avoiding dealing with the severity of the attacks and dealing with just how dangerous these particular breeds are. And keep in mind, we're talking about bully breeds in general, not just technical pit bulls. Dr. Christopher Demas, bites from pit bulls inflict much more damage. Much more damage. Oh man, isn't it? It is so. This is criminal. It's criminal for lawmakers to ignore this many doctors. That is criminal, man. Who are you listening to? If you're not listening to the doctors when you're trying to determine the laws on these mutants. Whoever you're listening to, whatever you're paying attention to, is the wrong source. You listen to the doctors. Said bites from pit bulls inflict much more damage. Multiple deep bites and ripping of flesh, and are unlike any other domestic animal I've encountered. Their bites are devastating, close to what a wild cat or a shark would do. And these sick people think it's cute to lay infants on these things, to allow toddlers to play around with them, to hug them, to jump on them. Unbelievable. Yes. Yes. All dogs are mutants, including German Shepherds. Most definitely. All right. Shout out to We Hate Dogs. Y'all go check out his videos as well. Everybody who creates content. I may not be on top of all of the content creators. Go ahead and remind all of us, please. We got to get this word out. Unbelievable. How dare you lawmakers ignore the jewels of your society? Doctors in any era, in all eras, any civilization, they are always the gems, the jewels of your society. When they talk, you listen. You don't make up no Alice in Wonderland fairy tale narrative against what they're saying. You take what they say and you make the laws based on what they say, period. And again, how many doctors do we have on our side out here? We got an army of doctors supporting us. See, now these dog behaviorists and people, they really not going to accept any of my challenges now. Dr. Richard Satan, it might be Satan. Man, what a last name. Well, he cool with me. I don't care what his name is. The doctor putting this out there, he said, we're trying to focus public attention on this greatly underestimated public hazard. Listen to that. That sounds like something I would say. Man, oh man. Y'all call me crazy if you want. Think whatever about me if you want. I got several doctors on my side. What do you have other than a stupid YouTube video of a bunch of edited clips of a mutt not attacking somebody? You got to play this stupid music in the background and give your stupid rhetoric opinion. No facts. They don't refer to any facts. It's just all a bunch of babble. Said this is a greatly underestimated public hazard. Man, that's basically our premise. You know, that's basically what we operate on nonstop. It's how underestimated this public hazard is. 1979, pit bulls accounted for 20% of fatal attacks by dogs. That figure had risen to 62% by 1988. I remember we went over the fluctuation of dog attacks on a previous live stream. Interesting stuff. Because nobody knows the dog population of the United States or the exact breakdown by breed. We do not believe that pit bulls represent anywhere near 42% of dogs in the United States. Therefore, we believe that the pit bull excess in death is real and growing. And look at the dates he's dealing with. There's been an explosion of pit bulls and pit bull attack, bully breed attack in the 2000s, after 2000. It's far more worse now. Dr. Amy Wandel. I see just as many dog bites from dogs that are not pit bulls as bites from pit bulls. The big difference is pit bulls are known to grab onto something and keep holding. So their damage they create is worse than other breeds. In other words, they're just more dangerous. They're more dangerous. She's putting emphasis on the fact that there is a difference between other dogs and bully breeds. And that's their goal. These dog nuts, these pit nutters, their goal is to project this idea that bully breeds are no different from any other dogs. Again, we got an army of doctors here. Dr. Andrew Fenton. The most vicious and brutal attacks I've seen have been from the pit bull breed. Man, how do you like that, dog nuts? all of you out there who spew that rhetoric. I know some of you follow the channel. How do you like that? Like I said, the youth, they're going to join us. They're going to want to have facts, professionals behind their position, their stance, their beliefs. They don't want to have some stupid YouTube doo-doo movie with some corny music playing in the background and a big unsightly mutt all over the video. Unbelievable, man. The most vicious and brutal attacks I've seen have been from the pit bull breed, Dr. Andrew Fenton says. He continues, many of the victims have been children. In a recent study from the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, pit bull attacks accounted for more ER visits than all other breeds combined. How you like that, dog nuts, pit nuts? How do you like that, pit nuts? What do you have to say now? You haven't presented any facts yet. The only thing they refer to is these little personal studies conducted by these dog nut shelters that really have been debunked. Another doctor, Dr. Patrick Byrne, says, I can't think of a single injury of this nature that was incurred by any other species other than a pit bull or a Rottweiler. He's saying no other animal inflicts the types of injuries that bully breeds do. Again, Rottweilers are bully breeds. What do these pit nuts have? They have stuff like this. They have rhetoric like this. Pit bulls are just about the nicest dogs there are. They're among the most tolerant dogs tested by the American Temperament Test Society. Once again, because they have no real facts and evidence, because they have no professionals who are going to testify for them, they have to rely on other dog nuts. And they have to rely on this private test that was conducted that we didn't see, that we didn't conduct. They have to refer to that every single time. It says percent passing, low aggression. And they want to point out that Labrador Retriever is at the top, the second Pit Bull Terrier. Okay, percent passing. They're saying that pit bulls are number 2 of all breeds that pass the temperament test. How pathetic of an argument is that? When it's been proven time and time again that those stupid temperament tests are unreliable. Every shelter mutt that has attacked someone passed a temperament test. They conduct one stupid test one time, and they want to say that this is how the dog will react or respond for the rest of its life. They have no logic, no facts, no reason. They have nothing on their side. Nothing but nuttery, lies, deception. They can only refer, keep that in mind. Anytime they try to make an argument in defense of pit bulls, the only thing they have to refer to is some private study, a temperament. They usually pass the temperament test. I got another video I'm going to show y'all before we go. Yet another stupid pit bull nut video. It's so laughable, and it's really going to look pathetic after going over the information that we have in this video. Okay.
This month is Safer Internet Day, and Google helps.
Sorry. Okay, let me share my screen here. It's another video I saw that infuriated me. There we go. Now, wait a minute. Now, I'm about to give some volume to this video. Can anybody guess what you're about to hear? Can anybody guess what you're about to hear? As always, they want to show video clips of dogs licking people, running, catching the ball. Most important, they got to have some stupid, happy music in the background. Isn't it corny? It's so corny. They project this idea that, oh, watch this. Watch the dog lick my face. See? That proves that these are harmless creatures. That's as far as their argument goes, people. They're showing these video clips to try to prove that. We're going to turn the volume down on these lunatics. Now, did y'all catch that? Down here it says lie. Pit bulls are inherently dangerous. Again, you can't let these people control the narrative. Pit bulls are inherently, they were bred to be dangerous, more dangerous than other dogs. That is confirmed by the medical professionals themselves. Look at what they wrote in response. Truth. Responsible ownership can prevent any aggressive tendencies. What? You want to put out some idea? Where are the facts? Where are the evidence? Where are the professionals? No, they just want to throw out some word salad. Responsible owners can prevent aggressive tendencies. No, they can't. How about that? Look at how many dog attacks we've seen take place. You trying to argue that 100% of those owners were irresponsible? No, many of them did all the things that you and your dog nut advocates suggest that you do. And they dealt with them, followed all the steps, and the mutt still attacked. This don't even make logical sense. Okay, here's another one. Again, keep in mind, they're trying to control the narrative. They're saying a lie. Pit bulls have locking jaws. Didn't we just talk about that? Didn't we just talk about that? Truth. Their jaws exert less force than the jaws of Rottweilers and German Shepherds. Who said anything? They couldn't even properly refute the narrative that they themselves created. Pit bulls have locking jaws. What's their response? They want to talk about how much force is exerted by pit bulls compared to others. And they included another bully breed. Nobody said anything about how much force they exert. Locking. Bite down and stay locked down. They can't refute that. The best that they've done is to say, well, they're not technically locked. It's not like you need a key to unlock them. Wow. This is shameful, embarrassing level of brain dead nuttery right here. Kids, y'all don't want to be part of this group. You are going to be laughed at. It's going to be bad. Once you start to spew this dog nut rhetoric in public, you're going to run into people like us who are going to embarrass you. And everybody is going to laugh at you. Don't do it. I want to hear that stupid music. Okay, here's another one. Lie. Pit bulls are poorly behaved and aggressive. Again, who's saying that? They can't even quote dogsbite.org. They can't even quote pit bull victim awareness. They cannot quote actual organizations and people that are against pit bulls. No, they are scared of us. Instead, they have to create their own narrative and say that this is our narrative. Most of us wouldn't even say anything like this, that they're poorly behaved. We don't know how they behave because we're not around them. All we know is that they attack. What are you talking about? And yes, they are more aggressive. They do have a heightened state of aggression. What are you talking about? See how they constantly have to show dogs playing, dogs sitting. They constantly have to project dogs in a positive way. More explaining. Here's another one. Truth. They consistently rank. Oh, wow. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Where's the lie? Okay. Pit bulls are poorly behaved and aggressive. What's their response? Even though they created this narrative right here, the best thing they could come up with to respond is they consistently rank above average on temperament tests. Once again, they had to refer to a temperament test that nobody else was allowed to see, only other dog nuts, and that the test itself is proven to be unreliable every single day. These dogs that pass these temperament tests, they always end up attacking someone once they get adopted out. Many of them don't even make it to a family's home before they attack someone. They'll attack someone who works at the shelter. Pathetic. These people are an embarrassment. You are a stain on humanity, embracing this type of brain dead nuttery. Is it? Okay. Pit bulls have always been known as bad dogs. What? What? This is them creating the narrative for pit bull opponents, which is against the law. You can't create other people's narrative. You have to get it directly from them. So once again, this argument is in bad faith. And this video has over 2 million views. Unbelievable. Okay? Now here's their truth. Okay, the lie was pit bulls have always been known as bad dogs. What's their response? Truth. They were originally known as America's dog. Okay, what does that prove? What does that prove? They just throw out word salad, a bunch of babble. And you're telling me pit bull bans are being lifted based on this type of brain dead nuttery? Sergeant Stubby was a U.S. war hero who saved lives in World War. What? I'm assuming are they talking about a dog here? Another study that none of us seen. You're saying that this mutt saved lives. How do we know that? And even if it did, that one mutt don't represent all the other mutts. And that one mutt does not change the statistics. The number of people being attacked by these things remain. Now what? This is pathetic. For a human being to get this dumb, to embrace this level of stupidity, is embarrassing. It makes me ashamed to be a human, to be related to other organisms this brain dead. It's embarrassing. So here is another one. Lie. Pit bulls will turn against their owners without warning. They're trying to say that this is a lie? Okay. What do they say? The truth. Dogs always give a warning before attacking. Reading their body language is important. How pathetic is that? I mean, all you have to do is look at videos of people being attacked. And you'll see that that's a lie. Many times, these dogs just run out of nowhere. They'll run from across the street, around the block, dart right at you and attack you, just like that mutt tried to do with me. I opened the door, dog came running around the corner straight at me. What warning sign are you talking about? These things don't give no warning signs. How many cases have we dealt with where the people said it attacked with no warning? How many videos have we seen where these mutts just attack? And like I said, even if you were able to see the warning signs, there's a good chance you wouldn't be able to restrain the dog before it actually attacked. You would see these stupid warning signs, and a split second later, it attacked. So that is attacking without warning. That's going from not attacking to attacking. There's no build-up. There's no argument like you have with humans where tensions are rising. These mutants go from sitting there to attacking someone. So what are you talking about? These embarrassing brain-dead imbeciles. We're going to make you look uncool to the youth. Trust us. Trust us on this. We got this. Because this is embarrassing. Nobody in their right state of mind is going to want to be a member of lunacy like this. Lie. All pit bulls were bred for fighting. People, here you go again. Here you go again. Who said that? Now, the breed exists because it was created for fighting. They were created for fighting. So what are you talking about? What are they talking about? Let's see. Truth. Only 3% of pit bulls are involved in dog fighting. People, this is unbelievable. This is embarrassing. Anybody who points out that pit bulls were bred for fighting, they are not saying that all pit bulls today are bred to participate in fighting competitions. This is them trying to control the narrative, trying to make up an argument in their own stupid mind so that they can debunk their own straw man argument. Literally, nobody, no opponent of pit bulls makes this argument. None. We know full well that many of the pit bulls in the world today have not been raised and trained to fight in dogfighting competitions. These, man, oh man. It's offensive. And laws, bans on bully breeds are being lifted as we speak based on this type of brain dead rhetoric. Unbelievable. It says many were bred for work and companionship because of their gentleness and loyalty. Again, it doesn't matter what you tried to raise it. Bred for companionship. Just because you keep it as a companion does not mean that that is what it was bred for. They were bred for fighting, bull baiting. They were bred to be aggressive, to inflict the most damage possible. Just because you want to sit on a sofa with it does not change that. Bred for work and companionship because of their gentleness and loyalty. Pit bulls are not any more loyal than any other dog. They'll all treat you different once you prove to be a dispenser of food. It's infuriating. The stupid arguments that they come out with. It's so stupid that it makes you mad. Like, why don't you just shut your stupid mouth? Stop talking. How about this? Listen to the professional. Shut up and listen to the professional. Keep your mouth closed. Here's another one. Lie. Breed-specific legislation helps keep neighborhoods safe. Now, these pit nuts are about to try to argue against that long list of doctors that we just went over. Laws that focus on education and responsible ownership are the ones that make a difference. What? You should be able to prove whether or not breed-specific legislation helps keep neighborhoods safe. That is something that you respond to with actual statistics from respected sources. They wanted to respond to that with a flippin' philosophy. Some Alice in Wonderland crap that they made up in their own little stupid head. Laws that focus on education and responsible ownership. What law is there to enforce responsible ownership? Dog, anybody can buy a dog. Anybody can buy a pit bull. And it's your decision how you want to raise it. What are you talking about? These are imbeciles. Imbeciles. And lawmakers are listening to this crap because many of these lawmakers are dog nuts themselves. But they're using this type of flawed logic, weak, pathetic arguments to remove bans on these worthless, dangerous mutants. This don't even make sense, man. Where are the evidence? Where's the facts? Where are the numbers? That's all you have to say? You idiot. After we went over testimonies from all these doctors who support the idea of removing these things from society and telling us why, you want to respond with some stupid, airhead, brainless statement like this? Infuriating. Look, after breed-specific laws was enacted in the UK, the number of annual dog bites remained the same. There was the same number of dog bites. even after pit bulls were banned. Now, you know what this means? That means that people who would have normally owned a bully breed instead owned a German Shepherd or some other dog. And those dogs bit people just like the pit bulls would have bit people. But the difference is the damage. And as always, they refuse to deal with the damage. When you ban pit bulls, you immediately reduce the number of severe injuries. That is when people who would have normally come in torn to pieces, now they just come in with a few punctures most often. They are not mutilated like that. That always happens when you ban bully breeds. And they don't want to deal with that argument at all. So they deal with this vague, stay around the corners, right? Stay at the surface, and it was the same number of dog bites even when there were no big pit bulls. Yeah, because all dogs are mutants and they all bite. But according to more than one doctor, that's a lie. 1 out of 40 pit bulls bite, whereas 1 out of far more dogs of other breeds bite. So where are you getting your numbers? Why didn't you share any statistics? Any real statistics that look at how many people were bitten or attacked by pit bulls? They don't share that. This is pathetic. Pathetic. And there are a lot of people out here a lot smarter than me, be able to dismember these stupid arguments better than I can. Look at this. Lie. Nobody wants a pit bull for a pet. Who is making that argument? Why would I even waste my time with an argument like that? One thing we do know, these shelters are full of mostly pit bulls. So now what? This is what they have to say. According to a survey, here we go with these private surveys, the American Pit Bull Terrier is one of the top 3 most popular breeds in 28 states. Man, oh man. One of the top 3 in 28 states. Get out of here. What a weak, pathetic. What does that mean? I mean, what does that mean in the face of shelters all across the country in all 50 states being full of mostly bully breeds? Isn't that sad? That's sad. And this video has over 2 million views. And you got a bunch of brain dead pit nutters in the comment section saying hallelujah. Oh, this is unbelievable. Because who can resist these faces? My goodness. People, we cannot show any mercy to these imbeciles. We have to put their idiocy, their insanity on full blast. Every opportunity we get, we have to let loose on these people and drop the facts on them. They have no facts on their side. They have no professionals, no professional assessments. We're dealing with doctors on our side who actually treat victims. When people are attacked, they are taken to the doctors. Society is structured where you can only get certain information from certain professionals and professions. That's what we're referring to. Actual doctors and statistics, actual cases as they emerge. These people exist only in philosophy, ideology, Alice in Wonderland, lies, propaganda, deception. Because this is a bona fide cult. These pit nutters are the worst of all dog nuts. The most evil, the most sadistic. These people are the reason why so many babies and kids are mutilated, are attacked, and killed. People in general. And I speak for the people who don't like dogs. All of you dog nuts, if you get attacked, you get exactly what you deserve. You know, if you bring something dangerous into the general public that could hurt anybody, if it hurts you, good. Good. Now get it out of here. Listen, do not be afraid of these people. Do not let these pit bull nuts intimidate you. On the surface, when they spew their rhetoric, it might sound a little intimidating if you haven't done your own research, right? We're going to do our research, most definitely. Now I'm going to share the petition that I started. When did I start this? When did I start this? Okay, I can't see where I started. It's supposed to tell me when I started, I thought. Anyway, so far it has 631 signatures on this petition. 631 signatures. Let's get some more. According to change.org. Wait, can y'all see this? Yeah, y'all can see it. According to change.org, at 1,000 signatures, this petition is more likely to be featured excuse me, in recommendations. So let me post a link to this petition. Where are we at here? In the chat room. Where's my chat room? Okay. There's also a link in the description box. We have to exterminate all dogs. And we need to start with bully breeds. We cannot stop until these things are eradicated from the earth. And this sick, disgusting culture is removed from the earth. This is a sick, satanic, sadistic, child sacrificial cult. Dogs do us no good whatsoever. They only harm us. They only hurt us in society. They kill us in many ways. It's not just physical attacks. Consider health and how many diseases and infections been passed to humans from dogs. Even diseases, viruses that originated in other animals. Dogs are the primary source of transmission from those animals to us because these nasty, disgusting mutants will eat the excrement and roll around in the excrement of other animals. Again, even if we just dealt with the health hazards without even dealing with attacks, there is more than enough reason and proof and evidence to ban dogs, right? But most definitely, we need to start with bully breeds. So big shout out to everybody who was able to join me today's live stream a little longer, but I will get back to the shorter live streams, and I will see you all on the next as we continue with this crusade against these worthless mutants and their enabling owners.